All right, so we got two, I think they're 2002s. I can't actually even see the VIN on the frames because they're a little rusty. But I think they're like 2002 Polaris Ranger 500s. They're only two-wheel drive. We're actually going to be redoing them and selling them. I got them at a good price. As you can see, they have some miles on them. That one's this. We're going to redo the seats. Not a professional job by any means on upholstery, but either way, we did get them running. We're going to do some videos. Well, I'm going to do one major video, one big video on the process of getting them cleaned up and ready to go, putting new tires and stuff on this one. As you can see, that one's flat. But today's video is just going to be the oil change, how to do an oil change on one of these 500s. A lot of the Polarises are all basically the same. And let me see. This seat, it's very, very dirty. This is actually out of one of the I think it's a coal mine company. Look how dirty this thing is. It needs a very good cleaning. Surprisingly, this thing just put a good battery in it and some fresh fuel fired right up. But these 500s, a lot of these Polarises, the 500s, the 400s, they're basically all the same. I did a video on a 400 earlier in my YouTube career. It was one of my first videos. It was doing pretty well. But this one, there's two ways to change the oil in it, and I will show you, or I will talk to you about it. We're going to be doing the quick, easy way. There is a harder way to do it, which is that's the better way. But on this quad, well, side by side, I just kind of want to get it done. Same with that one over there. That one blew a brake line. I'll show you how to replace a brake line too. So you got a little pan there. Either way, let's, I guess without further ado, let's get this thing warmed up and change the oil in it. So these are basically the tools you need to do the job, and a drain pan. But my drain pan is being used at the moment, so we want to go over the tools. First, you can buy these oil change kits on eBay. I think this is like 45 bucks or something. You can get one of these kits. It comes with a new washer, filter, and 2 quarts of oil, which is what you need. And you need some way to get the filter off. These have an extension in one of these claws. Makes life so much easier. So if I was you, buy one of those. And then you just need a 9/16. Boom, boom. And that gets the drain plug out from the reservoir. Pretty easy. All right, we got the quad warmed up. Let it run for a few minutes. And now the oil change can begin. As you can see, this is kind of dirty, so we're going to clean this up a little bit. Some brake clean. Just wait for the engine to cool down a little bit more, and then you can spray around the oil filter, which is right up on front of the clutch cover here. But what we need to do is break this drain plug loose. 9/16 seems to fit on there pretty darn snug. Again, make sure it's warmed up. Start draining the oil out. And while it's draining, I'll explain a few things here on these quads. Okay, so on these quads, this is, we'll say, the easy or the quick oil change. Basically, all we're doing is we're going to drain the reservoir out here, and we're going to replace the oil filter, and then fill it up with oil, and we're done. Now, on these quads, there's actually on the back of this reservoir, there is a filter, and I'll see if I can get. There should be a filter. Actually, I haven't looked on this one, but there should be like a filter and a hose that goes into the engine. And if you unhook that hose and pull that filter out, you will have to bleed the system, as they say. And that I'll show you how to do that. I'm pretty sure it's on these ones. I'll look a little more into it here. I just want to get this thing. It's like 30 degrees outside right now. The winter here is brutal. Actually, 30 degrees isn't too bad. It's actually kind of nice out. All right, so here's the drain plug, and it's got a little magnet on it. So you gotta clean all that off. That's pretty nasty. That oil was well overdue. The power plant had these side by sides, and I was able to get them at a fairly good price. So we're just kind of going over everything.
There's the magnet. Clean it up real good. What we'll do is, honestly, on these quads, we might even do a double oil change. Run them for a little bit before we sell them. Change the oil out one more time.
All right, so it's looking good. Got the new washer on. We're going to clean this off a little bit more. Drain it a little bit. Make sure you take the cap off. There we go. Now this reservoir is plastic, so you have to be careful when you tighten these up. You don't need to over tighten them. That's it. That's good. Okay, now we got to get to the oil filter. Let me see if I can get you on here with the camera. Right there, it's all dirty, so we're going to clean it up with some brake clean. But there's the oil filter, so we're going to put the pan underneath it to catch the oil. You can try to get oil in the filter when you put the new one on, but since it's going in sideways, you'll probably just make a mess, so just be careful with it. You have one of these claws. These work amazing, especially when these things get on there and they're tight. There we go. There's the old. Beautiful.
Here's the old one. It actually had a Polaris filter on it, which I'm actually kind of surprised. They didn't put like an aftermarket one or something on it. I'm going to cross-reference the number. It's upside down, but 2520799, 252, that's it. So what we want to do is make sure you lube up the ring. Make sure the ring is on here. Just make sure it's off the engine, because if it's on the engine, you're going to double ring it, make a big old mess. And like I said, we're going to try to put a little bit in here, not in this one, but the new one, and but more than likely it'll just kind of leak out. So do what you need to do.
All right, so there you go. That's where we got to screw it back on. It's kind of hard to see because that's where I have to get the wrench and everything to get it out. And my arm's up in there, so it's hard to see. Can't put the camera in the way, or I'll knock it over. So there you go. Just make sure the ring is not on there. And you got a new, make sure your ring is on the filter and make sure it's nice and clean. So we're going to clean it off with a rag and put the new filter on. All right, once the filter's on, the filter only goes on hand tight. I'm going to pull out the cap here, put your funnel in, and start putting in some oil. It should take about 2 quarts, so we can put about a quart and a half in, check it, and go from there. All right, oil. Made a little bit of a mess. That's how I roll. It's full, took all 2 quarts. Now we gotta warm it back up. It's so cold. And check the level. Make sure no weird noises. If you hear anything bad, shut her down. Let it warm up a little bit, and then we'll check the oil level. All right, guys, so the oil change is done, but this is the last little part I wanted to show you if you wanted to go kind of the harder route and do, I guess it's the better route, to be honest with you. But crawl underneath here, hang with me, hang with me, hang with me. Right there, see that little fitting? Now, you can unhook that hose that runs the engine. You can unhook that hose and unscrew that fitting. Excuse me, let me get up out of here. You can unscrew that fitting, and there's a filter. Should be a filter on the back side of that. The issue is it's tight. It is crap to get in there. Also,
If you do take that out, you have to bleed the system. And how to do that is you change the oil, do everything that we just did, and then there's I think it's probably even this hose right here. Again, it's buried under the wiring on this thing. But it goes maybe, I don't know, we'll say like 6 inches, and then there's like a slot, and that slot is like a little breather. And what you need to do is put like vice grips, and you put it right in front of the slot, so you're kind of blocking off the bleeder. And then you run this thing for like 30 seconds or something like that. You're priming the system, bleeding it, or priming it, I guess is the better word, not bleeding. You're priming it, and then you shut it down, take that clamp off, and then you should hear a little pff of air, and that means you're good. It's basically, you're just kind of forcing the oil back through. But if you do it the way we did it, you don't need to do that. That's just if you literally drain all the oil out of it, which technically the way we did it, we didn't get everything out, but it was close enough. It'll be good enough for this. Like I said, this thing is absolutely filthy. Either way, if you guys got any questions, comments, don't be afraid to leave them in the comments section. All right, guys, God bless.